So, welcome everyone to this Mundaka Upanishad class. After a long time, we are starting. I hope you will enjoy it. It is a beautiful Upanishad, and I think you should enjoy and get great gyan from it. So, before we start, I'll do the Shanti Pathas with you, both the two Shanti parts which I have given you. Do you have it with you? Otherwise,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll do a share screen. Now the share screen seems to have disappeared somewhere.
We will repeat again after you.
Huh?
Hello, we'll repeat after you the Shanti
Yes, yes.
mantra.
You please repeat after me. Actually, the app seems to have changed since I last came around, so it's I am not able to sort.
For me, it is down with a
I
green
got it.
thing.
I got it.
Uh,
Okay, can you see?
yeah.
So we'll just chant it first. Om Tvam Hina Pitavaso
ॐ त्वं हीनपितावसो
So,
Tvam Mata Shatakrato Babhuvitha
त्वं माता शतकृतो बभूवित
Adhate Sumnamimahe
अदाते सुम्नमीमहे
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति
Shanti,
शान्तिः
So this is a beautiful prayer from the Rig Veda, which says, "O Vasu." Vasu is from Vasa, same as Vasa, you know. So an abode. So the one who gives us our abodes, our habitats, that Vasu. He is, you are our father. Tvam mata shatakrato babhuvitha. Hey Shatakratu. Shatakratu is the one who does many jobs, many works he performs. So you only are our mother. Adhate sumnami mahe. Because of that, I ask you, or rather, we ask you for happiness. Sumnam imahe. Sumnam is sukham. Imahe, ask you, uh, ask you to give us happiness. So here, if you see, God is being called as Pita, which is uh, Pita is a word for protector, the one who protects the family, one who nurtures the family. He is the provider for the family. So similar job God is also performing for us. Therefore, we call him Pita. Mata, in its more basic form, the yogic meaning, as we call it, vis-a-vis logic meaning. You know, you have the yogic meaning, which is derived from the roots, that is the verb and the various suffixes which you add to it. And the logic meaning has just the bare meaning. There is nothing you can drill down and find out more. So, in the yogic meaning, Mata means the one who constructs. So, since it is the mother who makes her body in her own body, and then when we come out of her body, also, she is the one who first builds our character. So, therefore, she is called the mother. And the same thing God also does. It is God who gives us the body, and He is the one who gives us our initial swabhav. The nature that we get comes from what He has constructed in our mind. You know, the subtle mind which He makes, which determines our nature, that is built by Him. So because you are our Mata, you are our Pita, you are Vasu, you are Shatakratu. For all these reasons, it makes sense for me to ask you alone that please make sure that in all these roles which you are performing, may you do things which are auspicious for me, which are good for me. Okay, now if you read on the other side also, you can make sense out of it. Okay, so Pita is Vasu. So Pita ensures that we have a good residence to stay in, and he protects us in that residence. And Mata is Shatakratu. She performs so many jobs to look after the family and the children, of course, that it's impossible to even number those jobs. So that is why Mata is Shatakratu, and that is how the placement of the words are in this verse. Okay. Are there any questions?
No question, but a very nice prayer invoking, God as both your father and mother, and at the same time, you can remember, we all can remember our father and our mother also at this point.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. So one thing also I wanted to add to is that you can ask me questions in between. Of course, it's a good idea if you just wait for the sentence to be over. But otherwise, I'm quite fine with you. I will be giving you spaces also in between where you can ask questions. Yes, Gauri, tell me.
Well, Babu with is the meaning Babu with.
Babu with her is
With her. Babu with us.
become, or in this case, are. You are. Just like you have bhavati or asti, no? It is the same dhatu. And babhuvita means were actually. It is a past tense. It is late lakar actually here. That is the very lakar. But it is to be understood in the present tense itself. Okay. So we will just look at this one. We will chant this second verse at the end of the class. So I will just read it out, and then we will. I will chant. I will not wait for you to repeat. ॐ या ते रुद्र शिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तन्वा शन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिचाकशीः. This is another very beautiful verse which draws a parallel between our world and God's world. So it says, Hey Rudra. Rudra comes from Rud Dhatu, Roditi, which means to cry. So the one who makes the wicked people cry is called Rudra. It is no separate entity with some other form of head or some sitting in some swarg or something. It is that one God only, Parameshwar, who exists everywhere. So, O Rudra, who is so bad for the wicked, that Tanu, that body of yours, Tanu is called Tanu because it is Tana hua, it is spread so much. So this is just like our body is spread on the soul. So also we are. This is we are not talking of God's body. Shiva. Shiva does not mean that Shiva, who is Parvati's husband, but auspicious, kalyankari. So that body of yours, which is auspicious, which is benevolent, which is aghora, which does not contain, is not violent, which does not create fear in a person, that body. Apapakashini, which tells us about, which illumines apapa, that which is not pap, that which is punya, that it illuminates. What is punya? It tells us. Taya naha tanva. Shantamaya. With that Tanu, which is Kalyankari, Shantamaya, which is exceedingly, by which this benevolence is spread. Giri Shanta, Abhi Chakashihi. Oh, Giri Shanta. I will just explain what Giri Shanta means. Look at me. Or another meaning is preach to me. So Giri Shanta here, Giri comes from Gr, which means to speak, to praise sometimes, but Vani in general is Gira, as you might have heard. So that same Gira is transformed into Giri here. And Shan and Ta. Sham is again, it says auspicious, and Ta is again the same as Tanu, which is spread. So the one whose Vani is contains everything, all knowledge, and which is auspicious knowledge. That Girishanta, please preach to me with that body. So here, obviously, you would have figured out that there is a deeper meaning which is lying under all this. So this body of God are the Vedas, through which He has declared to us what is right and what is wrong. In this world which He has created for us, there are some rules which are there by which you, if you follow, you will either get happiness or you will get sorrow. So he has defined that this is sin and this is a good deed in the Vedas. And he's told you how to live your life in that. So the prayer is that, oh God, please give that knowledge to me. May I imbibe that knowledge and behave accordingly. So similarly, here again, we will see that we see this word Rudra. So that is also indicating to us that if we don't follow that, then we will be the wicked person to on whom he will bring down his whole force, and we will have to suffer his wrath. And Giri Shanta is, as you can see, is anyway relevant here. So again, we have a little pun over here. Also, you can see that from this mantra and other mantras like this, the in the Puranas you have this concept of that Shiva, who is Parvati's husband, who lives on Kailash Parvat and who has a very fearsome appearance. That imagination has come from a mantra like this. And there are many more mantras, there even the Dhanush, that Pinaki is mentioned in one of the mantras in conjunction with the word Shiva. So this whole, you can see this imagination coming up and the creation of these embodied devas. So this should help you to get over this, our culture for a very long time has lived with these multifarious gods, many gods with many appearances, with many consorts, and I don't know what all imagination as the whole construct has been there. uh, but these are all, yes, they are coming out from Vedas, but of course they have gone far away from where they are. This is the original meaning, and these are the attributes of God. Here, in fact, it is Shiva, which is in feminine, which is applicable to Tanu, which is also in feminine. And because Vani is also feminine, so also this Tanu is a very good describer of that Vani. Also, because Vani is also Visrut, that is why also Tanu is a very beautiful word for it. Yes, Gauri, tell me.
This God, we mean to the Brahman, no?
So that is what I'm saying. There is only one God, many names.
Okay. Not
We
many.
have got
Okay,
gotten used to many gods with many names, but it is not like that. The Vedas only believe in one God who is without a body, etc. So
Okay, Rudra, Shiva, it talks about now. That's what I just wanted to know. It is just Shiva, or is just the Brahman is only indicated in Shiva's Rupa?
So this is the name for Brahma only. That
Okay.
is what I'm trying to tell you. In fact, here Shiva is the adjective for Tanu. It is not
Okay.
Shiva. It is actually feminine word, the Shiva, which and Tanu is also feminine. So Shiva Tanu. And Rudra is the one in Sambodhana Vibhakti which says, Hey Rudra and Hey Girishanta. Okay, and Shiva and Aghora and Apapakashini, these are adjectives of the body. Okay, that
Okay.
is what
Thank
I'm
you.
trying to tell you, that the original Vedic Dharma does not allow for embodied devas. That means your Shiva, Parvati, Vishnu, Mahesh, Hanuman, Ram are very, very far away. They are actually historical figures. So these are not gods as per the Vedic Dharma. Okay,
Good. Thank you.
what you are following is actually Puranic Dharma. So it's a good idea to give it up and follow the Vedic Dharma. Okay, so
So I have a question. So the Papakashini is separate from the Agora, right?
Aghora,
Apapakashini.
Apapakashini.
Yeah. So Agora is different and Apapakashini is different,
Yes,
right? Because Apapa is what it is illuminating,
yes,
what he eliminates. Okay.
yes. And ghor is something which is frightening, which is terrible.
Yeah.
So this terrible ghor, that which is not
Not.
violent,
Okay.
not terrible, that body of yours, please reveal to me. Don't show me that body of yours which is ghor. Because God is also has that body for reserved for the people who are wicked. You know, this is a kavya. Please don't understand body as body. As I told you, body here actually means the Vedas, where he has given his teaching. So that is what is being talked about here. That those Vedas, they are aghora, they are apapa, kashini. Okay, they tell us what is the righteous way of living, and those are the ones that spread into all knowledge. So all knowledge is contained within the Vedas. That is why Tanu is the right word for the Vedas. And so, oh Girishanta, oh Lord, whose speech is spreading, whose auspicious speech is spread out in these Vedas, please preach the teaching of those Vedas to me. Okay, and I shall follow according to that, and I will not be the mm, recipient of your anger, that I should have to suffer sorrow at your hands. Okay, clear?
Rudra, sorry,
Yeah.
I couldn't locate that, you're putting up hands because this has changed once again. But I have a question.
Yeah.
It seems like we are once again, I know you must have picked this up again from the one of the Vedas, like you said, the earlier one was
This
from
is from
Rig
Yajurved.
Veda,
This is from
Yajurveda.
Yajurved.
Okay, are we not once again here attributing guna to the Brahman?
Yeah, sure.
That
He has gunas.
okay,
Yeah, he has. He
okay. So
is without a body. He is nyayakari. He is your sahaya. He is your friend. He is your helper. These are all his attributes.
okay,
But he does not have attributes like purple face or jatadhari. So he does not have a material body. See, we only are not that. So how can we consider him to be that? Our soul is independent of this body. This face is the face of matter. Uh, we don't have a face, so it's but we acquire a face when, as a mata, as we saw in the earlier one, he gives us a body, but he never acquires one. So please start getting used to this idea. It's very difficult to imbibe this, I know. Okay, let me try and see if I can make it. Don't know how to make the focus on me. Yeah, view something is there. Okay, so I have shifted the focus on me. So now coming on to Mundaka Upanishad. So Mundaka Upanishad is the fifth Upanishad, if you see in that Kena Kata Prashna. Munda Mandukya Titiri. Etareyam cha Chandogyam Ranyakam Tatha. Do you remember that verse, some of you? Okay, there is a verse which I will be putting up in the notes, which lists down 10 of the Upanishads. These are considered the principal Upanishads because I think because Shankaracharya made the commentary for these, and that is why they have been labeled as principal. That is the only reason I could find. So Upanishads themselves are part of the Vedic lore. Vedic lore consists of four parts. So one is the first part is the Samhita, okay, which is the revealed portion that are the Vedas, that is Rig Ved, Yajurved, Samved, and Atharvaved. Then you have the Brahmanas and the Aranyakas. These are both very, very ancient commentaries. We cannot even give any age to when it was written, but it was written millennia ago. So before Ramayana, before Mahabharata, everything, we have no idea when these were written. But these are very ancient commentaries which explain the Vedic mantras. So Brahmanas contain a lot of uh, procedures in which yajnas are to be performed. How exactly the yajna is to be performed, what are the actions to be taken. Actually, those are all symbolic. And through them, the Brahmanas tell you what are the meanings which are implied in the Vedas. But now they are so difficult to read and so symbolic that hardly anybody understands the meaning properly. Aranyakas have more spiritual content in them. They cover less of yajnik processes, but they are also related. In fact, some Brahmanas only are Aranyakas, Aranyakas are part of the Brahmana, or Brahmana is part of the Aranyak. They are little mixed up. And Upanishads are typically from a Brahmana or an Aranyak. Okay, so these are the four parts of the Vedic lore, not always very well defined. These last three parts, that is the Brahmana, Aranyak, and Upanishad. Some Upanishads are even the Vedas. Like we know that Isha Upanishad is the 40th chapter of Yajurved. So even the Ved is there in the Upanishad. So like that, also these Upanishads are part of the Shatpat Brahman and the Brihadaranyak and so on. Now, this Mundak Upanishad is part of the Shaunakiya Shakha. Shaunak was a personality who was there, a great rishi, and he figures in this Upanishad. So, his one of the shakhas of Atharvaved is named after him, and this Upanishad is derived from there. Now, I could not actually locate this Shaunaka Shakha, but it seems it is available, and but there seems to be again a lot of confusion because people are saying that it is the same as Gopat Brahman, which is the Brahman which is available today for on Atharved, but I could not locate this in Gopat Brahman at least. So it is not from Gopat Brahman. if there is another Shaunak Shaka which is available, I am not aware of it. But this comes from there. Other than that, we don't know much about this Upanishad. Nothing can be said about its time. Nothing much can be said about its composer. But probably it was somebody who was existed in the times of Shaunak. So other than that, let me just see, tell you a little bit more. So this Upanishad is split into 3 chapters, and each of those chapters are divided into 2 sections. So totally we will be having 6 sections which we will be covering. The chapters are called Mundaks, again, referring to the Upanishad itself, and the sections are called Khandas, and the total number of verses is 64. So that's quite a small number, as you can see. The Upanishad also has some very, very well known verses and very, very beautiful verses. Mostly it is into describing God. So your Satyameva Jayati, uh, from our national emblem, comes from here. Of course, in the emblem, it has come in as Satyameva Jayate, and everybody is into saying Satyameva Jayate, but that is incorrect actually. It is Satyameva Jayati. So that verse also we will be doing here. Okay, so I am ending this session because it is coming to an end. Please join on the same meeting ID, etc.